am wanting my muscles, again, wanting to get back to that strength training. So that was my win. Anybody else want to share? All right. Okay, so let's do we're getting some feedback. If everybody could mute, that would be great. And tonight we are talking about blood sugars, blood sugar balance, and insulin resistance is something that is just a health condition now that is kind of standard. That we're here more about that people are developing type 2 diabetes, because that's really the diabetes that develops from insulin resistance. But people often wonder, why is that happening? Or is it something that just comes with old age? Because that's what, even as a dietitian, that's what I wouldn't say was taught, but just I saw. And it was a thing that was like, oh, if somebody's older, they're going to have higher blood sugars. They're more insulin resistant, and that's just the part of what happens with aging. And that is just so wrong. And so I'm here to just talk more about how you can become more insulin sensitive, because that's what we want. We don't want to be insulin resistant, we want to be insulin sensitive. And the resistance comes from just us having insulin in our system all day long. And with the Healthy Habits Challenge that we're doing and the reset, both of those fall in line with helping your body not have insulin coursing through the system all the time. Because insulin is a hormone, and we like to say that it is our mother hormone, and that's because when it gets pumped into the system, when our body sends off the signal that insulin needs to be released to bring blood sugars down, then other hormones follow the path. It's like a traffic signal that says, green, insulin is flushed.
That pork that was in there heated up.
If you can mute, I can't. I don't know how to mute. You can mute your microphones. That'd be great. There's a way to mute everybody. Anyways, so insulin is a storage hormone, and it is the mother hormone. So if insulin's in our system, that means our blood sugars are at a high level, and the extra energy, the extra sugar that's in our blood gets insulin, then takes it out of our blood and puts it into fat. It is a fat storage hormone. So we don't want that floating around in our body all the time. And also, when insulin is being pumped in, what else follows? Cortisol follows. And so insulin resistance has been, I wouldn't say the fad, or it's just the health trend that we don't want. And another health trend that is starting to pick up more more headlines is adrenal fatigue. And that adrenal fatigue is happening because cortisol also follows insulin. And so when you have cortisol, that stress hormone, going through our body all the time, that's where adrenal fatigue comes in. And so it's really no wonder that insulin resistance is popular, and now adrenal fatigue is becoming more popular, but we don't want it to be popular. And so how we fight that is by bringing your blood sugars in control. And so thinking about, when are you having your carbohydrates in the day? Because the blood sugars come from really any type of carb. There is complex carbohydrates, and there's simple carbohydrates. And I forgot to just share with you all too, I am a registered dietitian. So that's also, why I'm going to be getting into more of the science of it all. But, and I've been sharing Plexus for 2 years now. And I used to battle with hypoglycemia. So my blood sugars used to bottom out for no reason, really. I would eat, 2 hours and then still have a bottom. And that was, how the candida affected me. But I never thought I had an unhealthy gut. And so, but I had blood sugars that would tank, and I just, insulin wouldn't even take much insulin pumping into my system, but my blood sugars would tank because my gut would not get the signals correctly. My body would get the carbohydrates in, and the candida would be, scavenging up all the sugars, eating them up, but my body would be sending the signals as if I ate sugar, and it would just mess things up. And so I don't want to get too sciencey with you all about that complicated, but back to carbohydrates, that whether they're simple or they're complex, eventually they do still get absorbed into our body. And the difference between the two is just simple carbohydrates, simple sugars are absorbed very easily. They don't have to be digested, but we don't need the bacteria to help our body absorb them. And prebiotics are found with those complex carbohydrates. And so the complex carbohydrates are the things that are more whole foods. And so those are the, whole grains. Those are the carbohydrates that have more fiber. So if you have the carbohydrates that are found in vegetables, potatoes, not white potatoes, but if you're having, yams or sweet potatoes, they have more fiber, they have more nutrients, especially with the skin. Those are going to be more complex carbohydrates. Or brown rice instead of white rice. That's more of a complex carbohydrate. And so when we consume those, one thing, we want to consume them earlier in the day. And so because that gives your body a chance to use up that energy. And if you're moving around, you're going to be using the energy, and less insulin is going to be needed to bring the energy down, the sugars down that are floating around in your blood. And then you also just want to have at least 4 hours between your meals, because that gives your body a break because you have the meal, and usually it's about 15 to 30 minutes after you've ingested the meal that the sugars are absorbed into your blood, whether they're simple or complex, and insulin then will get triggered to bring blood sugars down and back into the normal range. Your body likes to have your blood sugars between 90 and 120. And so it's normal, if you have a meal with carbohydrates, for them to go a little bit higher, but your body, if it's responding right and giving the right signals, will release insulin and blood, about an hour after you've had your meal, your sugars will get back down. And that is in a normal situation. Okay. So if you already have some insulin resistance, it could take your body longer to bring those levels back down to where they're supposed to be. And then that's another thing that will cause cortisol to be released. If your sugars are maintaining at a higher level than ideal, that is a stress state and causes just a kind of chain reaction, a snowball reaction of stress throughout the body. And so eating, having 4 hours between when you eat, and also intermittent fasting helps your body not have insulin running through the system at all times. And that's what I love about the reset, is that the reset pretty much sets you up, with the plan that the boxes have, where you're having your shake in the first half of the day, and the collagen soups don't have very many carbs. And so you're in the matcha bar, you're having that mid-afternoon. So by the end of the day, you're having, the last collagen soup, which it doesn't have any carbs, and then just the restore. You're not having carbohydrates with dinner, and then you're having a long break until, it's definitely 12 to 14 hours when you're doing a reset before you're having carbs again. So you're keeping insulin out of the system, you're letting your fat burning, really be maximized while you're sleeping. And that's the same concept with intermittent fasting. You're giving your body a chance to tap into the fat stores by keeping insulin out. So the more you can, you know, keep your blood sugars to, you know, to just being in the first half of the, not blood sugars, the first half of the day, but you're, you know, there's the carbohydrates that are putting sugar into your blood. You're keeping them in the first half of the day, the less insulin you're going to be having in your system. Sorry, my baby's ice cream. So the Slim, the pink drink also is so beneficial for blood sugars, and that's that chlorogenic acid that's in our Slim. It helps just keep carbohydrates from just flooding our bloodstream. And so, and that's one way that the pink drink just helps, you know, it's proven to help glucose metabolism. So, and that's glucose metabolism is just another way of saying, you know, managing our blood glucose. So let's go in the chat. Yes, I'm so glad. Thank you for saying that you love this, Heather. I want to open it up too, because I think that I might have jumped around a bit, but please ask questions, because you know, the reset, like I said, is if you mimic your normal eating plan, like the reset does, I mean, have more calories. We don't want you on a restricted low calorie diet, you know, day after day. But if you mimic it where you have your carbohydrates more in the morning and you stop having carbs after late afternoon, then that's going to help you keep your blood sugars down. And then the pink drink once a day also just helps keep your blood sugars from spiking or from plummeting. So, who has noticed a change in, you know, their energy, that is more level throughout the day, or maybe they used to battle? Oh, here's a question. Yes. How does reset help with liver detox? So our Slim is a product that helps detox. So even without the reset, if you're drinking the Slim, it's going to help clear you of toxins. And if you know that you're dealing with a lot of detox, having an additional Slim will help that, because you can have 2 a day. I drink 2 Slims when I'm doing a reset with breastfeeding, because I don't want those toxins. I want my body to clear those toxins and for it not to go into the breast milk. But for a liver detox, there's not, like, our liver is the filter for all our blood. And so I know it's been kind of trendy to say a liver detox, but pretty much you're detoxing, any way you're detoxing the body, you're detoxing the liver also. So, you know, the reset helps with just speeding up the process and making your body go into autophagy mode. And that's where it scavenges because it's a low reduced calorie diet for 3 days. Your body needs more than, you know, 600 calories, what the reset has. And so because your body needs more energy, and you've used up all of your glycogen stores, which glycogen is just your call it like it's your savings account of quick energy. You still have to move it to fast energy, but it's like the bank to the saved up energy before you've tapped into fat. And so when your glycogen's all gone, your body starts scavenging for anything that's quick energy while it's transitioning to fat burning. And that's what we call autophagy. And so the autophagy is where all the free radicals start to be used for energy, and inflammatory proteins start to be used for energy. And the liver really actually gets less of a load put on it, because your body's using all those other you know, not normal sources of energy as energy. And so less work for the liver with your body doing that, if that makes sense. So instead of the liver having to clear out those things, your body's actually using them for energy. But when you're detoxing your whole body, you're detoxing the liver and vice versa. You can't, there's not really a way, there's no way possible to just detox one, the liver alone. It's the whole body that's getting detoxed. And drinking an additional Slim will help that. So thank you for your question. Who on here, or drop a 1 in the comments if you have done a reset yourself, or you've done multiple. I have done 3 since having a baby, or I should say drop the number of how many resets you've done. I've done, let's see, I've done 6 total. I did 3 before I became pregnant, actually 1 right before I became pregnant, and then I've done 3 now since having my baby. 2 total, great. Let's see, go in the comments. Thank you. 4, Karen, awesome. You're doing another one, Heather, great. You've done 3. Yep, I plan on I'm doing them once a month right now, just to help my body recover, because it really is a treatment for your body. One person, good, yep. Kimberly, yep, it is a treatment to just reset your metabolism at the cellular level. And each time you do it, it's like you're shedding off another layer of just inflammation, another layer of toxins, another layer of fat, you're helping your body recover from whatever it is that we're all healing from. And so, like, for me, it's recovering from just all the hormone swings and changes that my body went through to grow this little human. And so the reset's helping me, just shed whatever's remaining from there, and also be my healthiest from the aftermath of it. But and you might notice too, for those of you that have done multiple, is that they get easier each time you do one. And that's not a coincidence. It's because each time you do it, your body is just becoming more and more, essentially clean. Your body's cleaning. That's what a reset is. Your body's cleaning out all the unwanted stuff and just becoming more primed. If anybody drives a car, and have you ever noticed the difference, like when you put clean fuel in, or you put a new fuel filter, like when you give your car engine that oil change and really primed it up, new spark plugs, it all works better. And that's essentially what a reset does. And so the more you do it, you're just making it work better, because we want our engines burning the best, and our metabolism burning its best. And really, you get such an energy burst from it, because your body is just clearing out the inflammation and the toxins. So yes, thank you. Thank you, Melody. I love doing it. I did a 1-day reset today and plan to do 1 day a week. Yeah, that reset remix. I led one of those groups in February, where 1 day a week you did the reset, and then we had it set up where the other days of the week you just worked on intermittent fasting for at least 14 hours, and spacing your meal at least 4 hours between meals, keeping dinner carb light, so that your body can tap into fat burning overnight. Because when we go to sleep, we don't need energy. Like, everything should be resting. We shouldn't have excess, food in our stomach to digest. We shouldn't have sugars, going into our bloodstream while we're going to be doing is sleeping. And so, just like our brain needs the rest while we sleep, our gut needs the rest. And that's when, just inflammation can be addressed for sure, and decrease during that time. So, any other comments or questions? I love having so many people on here. Who on here has helped somebody or themselves decrease their A1C. And if you don't know what an A1C is, then that means that you're not dealing with any type of insulin resistance or diabetes. But an A1C is like your report card of the past 3 months. It's what doctors use to evaluate how your blood sugars have been controlled. And ideal range is from, I want to say 4.5 to 6. And then when you get to between the 6 to the 7 range, then they consider that, pre-diabetic. And then if you're over 7, that's how they, kind of diagnose diabetes, along with a fasting blood sugar. And so what I love about Plexus products are, though, that they really do help people with diabetes and blood sugar control. And that's proven with the A1C. And so has anybody on here seen, or help somebody reduce their A1C thanks to Plexus? Put it in the chat. I'm gonna put you on the spot, Nicole. I know you have. You're muted. Yes, good, Melody. Thank you. Yes, I've helped. So, yeah. I have a friend, James, that has lost over 200 pounds with these products, and for sure his A1C has decreased from that. And so, and my A1C actually has, I dropped my A1C from 7.4 to 6.9. Fantastic, Nicole. Thank you. Yes. What I was going to say is that mine tended to be too low, my A1C, and so it was under 5, and my A1C is at 5, and I feel much better with that. And that's again because I used to have hypoglycemia. So, like I said, the Slim, that's just proof that these products help our gut work like it's supposed to, and so I have more stable blood sugars. And everybody, you want your body to maintain between that 90 to 120, and that's what these products help do. So my sister Karen is on. It helped her A1C, type 2 diabetic. Yep, fantastic. Well, thank you all for being on here. Our wonderful team leaders, Michelle and Kelly and Elise, are enjoying a fantastic mastermind with the Brooke Hemingway. And I know we're going to get so much information from them when they get back to us next week. Sorry, my little boy's chiming in lots. So with that, I want to give you guys say good night. Thanks for being on here. Feel free to pass on any questions. Both Kelly and Michelle can pass them on to me if you have any questions. And if you can't hear me, sorry. Have a good night, everybody.